All right, so this is how I homeschool my son. I got this planner off of Amazon. I like it. It's not exactly perfect, but it is what it is. So the front page here, it has his attendance record. He didn't want his name shown, so that's why it's like that. So here we have August, and it has all the months and the date that he's been in school, any holiday he's going to take, any sick days, that sort of thing. It's made for multiple students. The thing I don't like about this is the year starts with January, it ends in December, and in America our school year starts like in August or September. So how I'm doing this with one student is I'm starting here and then I'm working my way down here into this block. It is what it is. I'm still kind of playing around with it. And then it kind of continues on. And again, it has just enough space for 4 students, but because this is for one student and he does multiple things for each topic, I used it instead to show what he does instead for his history. So for instance, for history, he has his online ancient history, world story, dinosaurs, and passports is more like geography. So that's why it's there. For instance, reading, I placed down here. He does do online Bible reading, spectrum reading, and then he does his book or magazine. And then back here, we have a grade tracker. So this is his science, also for online, and I consolidated that with Khan Academy. So I put down here his quizzes and his tests that he takes, where he took them at, whether it be on Khan or online, and then his grade that he got and kind of what it was, if that makes any sense. And because we are in Missouri, we have to document our hours, so I'm just going to go to a random page here. So on Monday, this is what he did. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I document how many minutes he did. So for his magazine, he read for 10 minutes. And then what I do on this side is I add up everything. So for math, he did 9 hours and 5 minutes, all the way on down. We have language arts, that's what that is, reading. So for Missouri, they want to do core. So I add up all his core and I put it down here. So for core for that week, for week 9, he did 22 hours and 22 minutes. Now extra is anything that's not core. So that would be art, computer, Spanish, music, PE, thinking, that sort of thing. And I'll go through this a little bit more detailed. Then I take his minutes. I go to the very back. And this is where I put them. So for week 16, because it was Thanksgiving week, he only did 10 hours and 1 minute. And his total right now is 289 hours and 37 minutes for his core. His extra, he only did 1 hour and 1 minute. So right now he's at 29 hours and 3 minutes. So for Missouri, he needs 1,000 hours. I was subtracting and then I got off with how much everything was, so I decided just to go ahead and add the hours instead. So I did go to a random page, but then I thought maybe it would be just too distracting. So for math, he does his online math, his spectrum, his Saxon, and his algebra. So his math online is through easy peasy assignments. It is Christian based, and I do like it. This is our 2nd year doing it. And everything is made that you can do it online, but he likes to write things out, so I did buy the booklets. You can get these off of Amazon. And this is language arts, I realized. All right, there you go. So you can get the parents' answer guide here. So this is lesson 81. He's not there yet, but this is what it looks like inside. He gets the instructions online. They work through it. This is lesson 80 here. This is something that he's done. So this is his main math that he does. And then the parent's guide has the answers. And then there's some instructions down here. For his Saxon math, he mainly does this. This is just the practice. And I never time him on this just because I want him to get the right answers. I would prefer that he takes his time, think it through, work the problem out, and just keep up on those skills. So that's what this book is. And then yes, there are tests in the back. This is the parent's guide and it has the answers to it. And we haven't really started a real lesson plan in this since he's already doing this math. And we will start on this just because he knows this math. He's had it in school when he was at his other school in Arizona. So this is math that he is very familiar with. This type of math here, no, it's not Common Core, but they kind of do things just a little bit differently. So he does get the gist of how they do math. So we do use this if he doesn't understand something. Then we can go to here to this lesson, for example, measurement of a circle, and we can go through this lesson plan. So that's what I have both. I recommend just sticking with one, but because he knows this math a little bit better, that's why we have this math. And I do like this book. This is just to supplement extra material. Just another way to do math, another way to exercise his brain. I don't expect him to do everything. The last time he did that was in September, and I'll tell you why. So I do like this little booklet here. It's kind of like a nice little booklet, just in case there's no internet. You can just pull this out. This, he will not get done in year 6. He's a 6th grader. I'm planning to pull this out for 6th grade at kind of like the tail end of 6th grade and 7th grade. He's not going to finish this. This does very much have more of that algebra that we used to the high school type of math. So no, I don't expect him to get this done at all. But this is just to kind of dip his toes in just a little bit, so to speak. And that is it. That's all we do for math. So I just write down the minutes. So EP stands for easy peasy. Spectrum, he mainly just does the time. He only did a couple of times on that page. So he only does this really pretty much for Saxon. And then algebra. And then we'll walk you through the other ones. And for history, he does ancient history. For easy peasy, that's what that stands for. They do a rotation. There's ancient history, early American history, modern American. So it goes from like Civil War to today. And then the 4th subject that they rotate through is people and geography. And so right now he is doing ancient history. It is for levels 5 through 8. So right now he's in 6th grade. Last year we did early American history. This is the only book like that they get. So he needed to map out the Silk Road, where the Great Wall of China was. A Venn diagram. The Crusades. This has the Ottoman Empire. This is later on. Not every single lesson will have something in the book. Sometimes the lessons are only about 5 minutes long. Here we have ancient Greece, Sparta. In the state of Missouri, you have to have 1,000 hours. So if we just did just easy peasy, we would not get those hours in, which is why I did multiple topics for the same subject. So because he's in ancient history, I'm keeping the same theme. I went to world story, another discussion about the ancient empire to kind of keep his mind on the same topic. This is Christian based. So if you don't want something Christian based, don't get this. But you have this, you have the paragraphs that they write out. That's the teacher's guide. Here's the book itself. I like it because it's colorful. There's Bethlehem here. You have ancient America. So he does not spend the majority of his time in this book. And there are the other ones that he can do as well. That curriculum is based, this Master Books curriculum, it's made to be geared that you can just work on this one topic for the whole year. But my son can zip through things pretty fast. So I wanted to keep him in his mind engaged. He picked out dinosaurs because he wanted to do this one. Here are the books that you need to get for this topic. I did get this off of Amazon. This was previously used, gently used, and he does like it. Going to a blank page. Where the dinosaurs are found. Arts and crafts. This is all that he wanted to do. This is how he wanted to color it. Working on penmanship. He says that he likes it. This is the book that he's currently in right now. And yes, this is also Christian based as well. So if you don't want something Christian based, don't get this. The last thing that he does is his passports. So the last topic that he does for history is geography and cultures. He got done with this book already, and we already packed this one away. So right now he's in this book, which is right here, and it is big. I would have to say I like this a lot. Color the maps. So we have cities, capitals, how they say hello, goodbye, proverbs, that sort of thing. And then back here, they do have quizzes and tests. They have Greenland. I'm hoping this will help him a lot more as he gets older by dipping his toes into this. This curriculum is based that you can do it all in 1 year, but he likes to move along. I do try to do this, but I always end up forgetting. So for him, taking 2 days out to read about China, he would do 1 day to read about China, and he would do the worksheet at the same time. So this is how he's moving through this curriculum at a faster rate versus a child that does need to take their time reading it. You know your child the best. Mine can work on the worksheet and do everything all one day. For somebody else, that may not be feasible. So that's how he does this. I also write up here, he got 100% on the 15th of November. He had a quiz. So there you go. So it's a nice little curriculum. So a lot of these books, they already bracket out what the curriculum should be on each day. The typical school year has about 180 days. And this goes to exactly 180. And a lot of the curriculums that I do have go to 180. I'll open this up so you can see it. Randomly going to Russia. I do like this book a lot. It even shows on the map where they're located on the globe. Here's Germany. So it's a good little book. I really like this. Israel. Malaysia. And there you go. That's all of history. He's talking to me in the other room. We have EP Biology. This is the next subject that he has to do for his core for Missouri. Not every day is going to be in the lesson book. Here's lesson 19. Here's lesson 80. But this is lesson 82, 83, but yet lesson 81 is not in here. So a lot of this is going to be online. A little thinner. And he only spends maybe 10, 15 minutes at this at the most. And this is why we have other topics for the same core topic subject, so he can get all his hours in. Spectrum Science. He reads on this side. It doesn't really correspond with biology. It's just kind of science, generally speaking. And then he answers questions on this page. And this is the Spectrum Science. It's the same thing, but it's like a different story each time. This one is about space. He likes it. I do too. Kind of breaks up the mundane. Next, he does World of Biology. This goes down to the fungi level. This has the teacher key and tests. Some of this test questions are a little bit harder for him. So sometimes I do allow open book. I do let him highlight in this book. It's a very good reference book. Right now he's in chapter 4. Again, this curriculum can be used for the whole year. And we use it to supplement his minutes. And it works well with him. He understands it. He likes it. He can talk about fungi now. Here are his questions that he does. And how he does this, for instance, I let him take a break, but we're going to get back into it. So these are the questions. 1 through 5 is what he answered on September the 12th. September 15th, he just did these 3 questions. So that's how we break it apart. There's really no curriculum that they break apart for you. You're going to have to do it yourself. But doing this all in one day might be too much for a child. And he still needs to do this. And there is a reason, I'll explain at the end why I'm kind of letting him kind of do what he wants with this. But I am going to get on him a little bit more now. There's chapter 12. I forgot to talk about why I was letting him kind of do his own thing at the beginning. And I wanted him to see what would happen if he were to ignore doing some of the work and waiting till the very end to do it. And I wanted him to learn this now versus in college. In college, some kids would push assignments off. They would push turning in their assignments, turning in their work, doing things online, and then they would rush at the last moment. So I did it here. I did let him do it. I knew what he was doing, and I let him do it here. And when I pointed out that you have all this extra stuff now you have to do, he realized, oh, I need to work on time management. And unfortunately with time management, you pretty much need to let the person fail for them to understand how important it is to keep time management together. So that is why I let him fail. Here it's safer. Him pushing off biology isn't going to make or break him in college. But pushing stuff off in college will make or break him. The last thing I want him to do is to fail out or to get bad grades because he didn't know how to do time management. So that is why I let him fail. And now that he knows that he needs to work on it the following quarter. I forgot about this one. Technically speaking, I think archaeology is like history, but because all of these books correspond with this book, this is considered a science book. And we do have all these books right now. Right now he's in this one, and then he'll move on to these other 3. So this is considered a science course. I think this is one of his favorite topics that he likes to do. Now this is what I'm doing. So I'm helping him out. So this is going to be on his final. So what's highlighted is on his test. So he just memorizes it. And he learns, I wanted him to write that out, that whatever is highlighted, he's going to see again. I accidentally highlighted, so that's why there's an X. I'm teaching him right now how to study for a semester test. So when he goes to college or high school, he understands what he needs to do to get that done. Quiz 4. This, I did let him do open book. This was a little bit harder for him. This one was not open book, and he's got a 55. So he learned that he needs to study a little bit differently. I know that seems a little bit weird, but I want him to fail here versus failing in college. I've seen a lot of students who never really had to stretch their brains or learn how to study, and they fail in college because they don't know how. So what I'm doing with this book is I'm teaching him how to study. And that's why I kind of let him do what he wanted in these other books here. I'm just teaching him how to study, how to read a syllabus, how to read a curriculum, how that some questions will be back on a semester test, of how things happened when I was in college. It's kind of unique to see the struggle that a lot of homeschoolers had in college, that they didn't know how to study because they didn't have these little tests, so to speak. So I didn't want him to come and have the same problem when he was older. And there it is. I was trying to find the page. This will have all chapters 1 through, sorry, you probably can't see that, 1 through 11. So I'm training him and teaching him that this is like a end of the year semester test, what you would see in high school or in college. So I'm teaching him that these words are coming back. You should know these. You went over them. I'm teaching him that you go back and you review what you did on day 1. You reread, you rewrite, you relearn it, and then when you come to your semester test, it should be fairly simple and easy. This is what the archaeology book looks like. I really like this because it pairs up with his ancient history. So he's learning more about ancient history. Little diagram there. Petra. And there you go. That's all for science. This is his language arts core. Again, this is online. You don't need to buy the book, but I do, just because it makes things just a little bit easier for us. This is Booth Tarkington. This is his essay that he has to rewrite. I keep going after him about using the folder. I see that fell on deaf ears. Here's his drawing. And again, not everything, not all lesson plans. This is lesson 64. This is not going to be in the book. It's fairly thin. Proofreading, dialogue, writing, that sort of thing. Here is the answer guide. And there it is. So to help supplement his minutes, we have spectrum writing. I did get the 7th grade writing just because I thought the 6th grade writing wasn't pushing him enough, so I did bump up a grade. So it's just pretty much the same thing. This is what he did for September the 1st, lesson 2. So he doesn't do everything all in one day. So it took him a couple days, because this is September 7th, to get to here. He does vocabulary, grades 6 through 8. And there's typically a word down here that he has to be able to spell out. So this is what he will use for the whole year. He may get this done. There's Wizard of Oz. I think that he has to be able to, like a little puzzle he has to figure out. And then the last subject for the topic of language arts is his spelling. So he'll get through this book, and then once he's done with this book, then I will start to give him spelling tests. Here's the answers there. How many misspelled words. I do have another spelling book that we'll use to get his spelling words from. But he'll go through this first, and then we'll give him like real tests that you would see in a typical school. And that's it for language arts. His last course subject that he has to do is reading. He does do EP Bible online. There's no workbook that is assigned with that. He just reads scripture online. He talks about it. He can write things down. There's no tests or quizzes on that. This is his reader. This you do not need to get. All of this will be online. I just prefer the booklets. He does as well. And that's why we have this. So this is for days 1 through 90, and then I'll have to get 91 through 180 later. Last year I ended up buying books. So like last year he had Alice in Wonderland. So I bought that for him. But they do have this here within this book here. So this year was the Jungle Book, Gulliver's Travels. He loved Penrod, and then he'll do Black Beauty. Poetry was at the front. And I really like this because he can get some poetry that I never got, like Robert Frost. I forgot what last year's was, but it was really quite beautiful. Stuff that I haven't even read, and it was stuff that my mother grew up with, and she just got a little bit excited about that. This is his workbook. Again, all online, but he likes this little booklet. He works better with it. And these are words that I didn't come across until I was in high school, so I'm glad he's coming across these words now and getting used to them. So here they give the definition, they give the example, and then he gets to match them. Again, not everything's going to be associated with a lesson. They do at the front put can be used after lesson 9, 21, different ideas, anytime. Here's his spectrum reading. Again, I bumped him up a grade because I thought the 6th grade wasn't stretching his brain. So here he has his reading selection, and on this page he has his text, his questions that he has to read. So for here, it took him a couple days. Again, I don't push him through all of this. It's just to help get those numbers up to 1,000. I'll probably get this done before the end of the year. And then just so he gets still in the swing of things, because in high school and college you still have to do book reports. He's doing this book, The Witch of Blackbird Pond, and then he has the study guide that goes with the book. Does he read every day? Nope. But I'm just going to go to a random page. So I do like this. I do have some other study guides for Chronicles of Narnia and for some other source materials as well. And that is it for reading. And then I'm going to talk about his other stuff that he also does as well. He also does 180-day social studies on it for 6th grade. He did this in the 4th and 5th grade. 4th grade because of COVID, just so he could keep up on his studies. And then 5th grade, and then I also picked this up for 6th grade because he really liked it a lot. And this is what's on the inside. So I do count this for his history. But this is considered an extra. So if he has time, he will do this. If he doesn't have time in the day, then he will not do this. So it's not necessarily important for him. It's just to help supplement those hours. And this typically, it does have the answers back here. This typically will follow the 180 days. Get it? 180 days. But he mainly does about maybe 2 days worth in about a day. Another thing that he does is this. This is also extra. This is geography, how to read a map, that sort of thing. I do like this a lot. It makes them kind of critically think. Again, this is if he needs the extra minutes, he gets everything done and he still needs to fill his day. Another thing that he does online is EP Spanish. There is no workbook with that. It's just all online. He watches videos. We do have flashcards here. I do have workbooks here that he could do. We just haven't gotten around to it. Another thing that he does is his magazines, and he loves his magazines so much he wanted me to show you guys his little highlighter that he uses. So this is what his school did. They bought these little magazines from this company here. And weirdly, everything just lined up for this year for ancient history. And here are the magazines that come with it. I ordered this set offline on Amazon. You have to be careful to get the whole set. Sometimes they only give you like half the list and you're stuck looking for the other half. So it does go through everything here. And this is all just ancient history. So he's in ancient India. I think this is a fresh book. I don't think he started just yet. So it may take him about a week or so to get done reading all of this. And what he'll do is he'll take his highlighter and highlight important information. He's not quizzed on this. This is just to help him get more information, more research, learn how to read, learn how to highlight the important information for college, that sort of thing. I do like these little magazines. They're really cute. Here's China. So it goes in a little bit more detail. Ooh, that's interesting. No, this is not faith-based, but they do have ancient Hebrews. So it has all cultures, what they went through. And there it is. Now I'm going to talk about his extra that he does. I have his computer out to showcase that he does do Khan Academy online. It is free. He does math, biology, computer. There's other things on there that he can do, and he can earn badges. So he does do Khan. Right now he's going through Khan biology, and he really likes it. He learns a lot from that, so I'm going to put this off to the side. So on Mondays, and just on Mondays, if he has time, I got this because it kind of piqued my interest here. Learning about Latin, and I think that I would have had an easier time in college if I knew a little bit more Latin than when I did. When I went through nursing school, we learned Latin a lot. And I think that if he has some premise of where our language comes from, then I think that he might have an easier time whatever his vocation will be when he gets older. So that's why I have Latin. It's only on Mondays if we have time. As he gets done with his other booklets over there, like Spectrum, then we'll probably use more and more lesson plans with this. On Tuesdays, if he has time, we do market math if he needs some more minutes. So this is about budgeting. So he goes shopping and he learns about how to keep a booklet, a budget binder, pretty much. I actually like those grocery prices.
I know they're cheap.
Right? So he has difference in cost, that sort of thing. So he has these questions that he goes through, and hopefully when he gets older, he'll understand about budgeting a little bit more than what I did. So that's market math, and there's different other math that he can do as well. But right now we're just doing market math. We do use real play money, so he's getting used to how to do change out. On Wednesdays, if we have time, again, this is only if we have time, he does world history. Dun-dun-dun. So we did the Knights Templars. So he reads through this and he does the activity. And I think I should have gotten this one versus this booklet, because I think that this one would have corresponded a little bit more with what he's learning now. But it is what it is. But there's different things in here. Mozart, little Beethoven's love letters, like little, literally, mysteries and histories. Another thing that he does is his bird journal. I got this off of Amazon. It does come with binoculars, and he just documents what wildlife he sees outside. So on October 11th, he saw 1 gopher, 3 squirrels, 3 blue jays, and 2 cardinals. It has different things in here. I'm hoping in the spring we can go out for nature hikes just a little bit more, and he can document what he sees. And then because he is a 6th grader, we are not shying away from this. This is part of biology. He's got to learn. This book is really good. I like this one. It's easy for him to read. It goes through pretty much everything that he's going to need to learn. And it breaks it apart. So things from the neck to the ears. How to keep yourself protected. Here we go. So it just goes through things, and he just reads a little bit of it. We read it together, and if he has questions, yeah, that's a big one, isn't it? If he has questions, then we talk about it.
The different types of boxers.
Yep. Sleeping troubles, that sort of thing. And that's what we do on Fridays. Another extra that he does is his brain quest. I know it seems like a lot for a little kid, but he can actually get through this. This is kind of like waking up his brain to the day. Different things that he can do. Will he get done before the end of the year? I hope so. Another thing that he does on Thursdays, just on Thursdays, is his state cards. So we just go through the flashcards if we have time, capitals, and then because he's with the passports, I do take these out so he can learn the shape and then the capitals. I got this all off of Amazon as well. He does this book on Fridays only. So this is more of a review. There is a little word box down there. There are answers back here. Don't use this book as a main core. This is just more like a supplement. Another thing that he can do if he's not reading his book, The Witch of Blackbird Pond, is his Greek mythology. It kind of corresponds with his ancient history that he's doing. So this is where he's at. He's almost done with this book. He spent an hour and a half on this one day. He just lost track of time and got into it so much. And then we also have Spanish flashcards as well. So this is what he's doing. Again, this is extra if he has time. Sometimes we just don't have the time for that. And the extras, they go down here. So they're not drastically important. It's just if he has time. This is blank because we got off a little bit. And this is, he has thinking online, PE online, music, computer, and art all online. So I need to figure out what days those will correspond with next week. This here is a cheat sheet for minutes. So 300 minutes is 5 hours. That's what this is for. And that's what he does. He has 2 bookcases and 2 carts and 2 boxes of books, and we'll go through those later. So hopefully if you have any questions, this will answer a lot of them. Again, this is a lot for a student, but he was in an accelerated school program in Arizona, so he's used to this fast-paced move, 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 move. For other students, this probably wouldn't be a lot to handle. For him, he spends a little bit of time and he moves on to the next. So it's very helpful for kids who have a short attention span, so they're not spending a lot of time on one topic. They can just move on to the next. And that's it for now.